Hi everybody, my name is Lou and welcome back to another insert. As you can see, today I'm in the kitchen. Hint hint. So that means I'll be cooking, and today I'm gonna be making peanut butter biscuits. Yeah, peanut butter biscuits. So if you guys want to find out how I made these beautiful babies, these peanut butter biscuits, please do keep watching. So we're gonna start off by making sure we have all the utensils we need for cooking. So we are going to use 2 bowls, one for the dry ingredients, one for the wet ingredients. And then you need to make sure you have all your ingredients. We're going to use bicarb of soda, normal cake flour, eggs, peanut butter. It doesn't matter if it's smooth or crunchy, baking powder, butter, sugar. So you can use both white and brown, but I'm only going to use brown, and salt. So the first thing you want to do is get your bowl for your wet ingredients, and the first ingredient we're going to use is the rama or the butter. You want to make sure this is at room temperature. So I did put my butter in a cupboard 24 hours before making this so that it could be soft, and then you want to cut it right there at the tip. You don't want to cut too much of it, and that's how much you're going to use for the recipe. So now I'm going to move on to my second ingredient, which is the sugar. I'm using brown sugar, and I'm using 3/4 of a cup of the sugar. If you want to use white sugar, you can also add 110 grams of that sugar in addition to the 3/4 of your brown sugar. Then you want to mix your brown sugar and your butter together with a wooden spoon. Please make sure you use a wooden spoon. And that's what it should look like. So I'm moving on to my next ingredient, which is my peanut butter, and I will be measuring this using a tablespoon. So I'm going to add in about 5 tablespoons into a cup, and this should accumulate to half a cup. So if you do not want to use a cup to measure this, you can just use 5 tablespoons of peanut butter. Then you want to add that into your sugar and butter mixture. Next up is your egg. You're going to use just 1 egg and then mix all those ingredients together. This isn't a step, but I went to go get myself something to drink because I was really tired from all the mixing I was doing. So I get right into it. I get my bowl ready for my dry ingredients. Notice that I am using 2 separate bowls for my wet and dry ingredients. I get my flour and add 1.5 cups of this for my mixture. Next, you add in 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. And then 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And then I just sprinkle in my salt, but you can use 1/2 teaspoon of that, and then you mix all your ingredients together. And then I'm gonna mix my dry ingredients into my wet ingredients, not the other way around. And then you mix, mix, mix. Then you want to get in there with your hands and continue mixing with your hands. Then you're going to take your dough and shape it into a little circle, and then you're going to cover that with your cling wrap and place that in the fridge for about 2 to 3 hours. You guys know me and my OCD tendencies. I am using this time to pack away all the ingredients that I used, to wash all the dishes that I made, and to clean the kitchen.
Later.
Okay, so for round 2, you want to ensure that the first thing you do is preheat your oven to 190 degrees Celsius. Once that is done, you want to get your dough out of the fridge. So now you're gonna get your baking tray and something to grease your tray with. It does say on the recipe that you can also use a cookie sheet, but I don't have one of those, so I'm just gonna use a baking tray. Now you want to get your dough, and then you're gonna cut that into 1.25-inch balls. And place them on your baking tray. And please ensure that you leave either 2 or 3 finger spaces between your dough. Then you want to flatten your balls with a fork for the crisscross pattern. It helps to put your fork in sugar so it doesn't stick.
A few minutes later.
And we're done. Allow your biscuits to cool for a little bit and then place them into a dish, a bowl, container, whatever you choose. So there you have it, guys. This is the final product. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was very easy to follow. Please don't forget to like, to comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Once, busy.